Tonight, it's Live with Vince Elliott. Live with Vince Elliott. Tonight on Live with Vince Elliott, speaker, business coach, consultant, and author, it's Dr. Nicole Farmer, turning dreams into reality. And special guest co-host, strategic planner, Carla P. Yarbrough. Okay, I see you. Let's get it. Yeah, come on.
Hey.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Live with Vince Elliott. I am Vince Elliott, and that's not Erica.
No.
I recognize that face. Let me introduce to you, for those who don't know, this is, as you say, my better half. I will not dispute that. This is my lovely wife, Carla P. Yarbrough. Say hello to the people.
Hello, everybody.
So she is filling in for Erica, who is absent, obviously, today. And so we had to find someone who could fill those shoes and some. And so Carla P. Yarbrough, my lovely wife, is more than capable of doing just that. She is no stranger to the microphone, to the camera, even though she's not as out front as I am, because I just like, clowning, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, what's strange is that she's a speaker and all of these things, and she is considered to be, what do you call it? A introvert. Yeah, that's what it is. I don't know how that works, but anyway, everybody, welcome to the show. Listen, I got to make sure that I remind you guys off the top to subscribe to the YouTube page. That is extremely important. You subscribe to the YouTube page is one way to support the show, but also we want to make sure not only that you subscribe, but you also hit the notifications bell. That way you subscribe, you hit the notifications bell, and you can get notified when we go live or upload upload new content. And so you can keep up with what's going on with Live with Vince Elliott, which is also a reminder that there is something else going on with Live with Vince Elliott. We are switching to Tuesdays after next Friday. So today is the 18th. There will be another Friday show next Friday, which will be September 25th. And then that following Tuesday, we are going to go to Tuesdays only. So September 29th will be our first Tuesday show, Live with Vince Elliott. So just remember, join us next Friday right here, same time, same bat channel. And then that following Tuesday, just a few days later, boom, we're at it again. And so I'm excited about that. That's going to work out better for a lot of reasons. Also, today is a day that a lot of people are going to want to watch this show. So right now, you need to share. Just go ahead and take out a few seconds and share on your Facebook page, share on whatever, your Instagram, YouTube, whatever it is, share, because today, not only are we going to find out about this fantastic story that our guest is going to be talking about, but she's also going to be helping you. Now, we live in a day and age now more than any time ever. We got more entrepreneurs than ever in history, right? So she's going to help you with getting funding and how to grow your business, how to start a business. She's going to be answering a lot of questions and then let you know how you can get more assistance should you need that. So you want to let your friends know, family know. I can't imagine that anybody watching tonight does not know somebody who can benefit from this conversation. So go ahead and share right now. There should be, for each person that's coming on there, each person should be sharing. So I should see more people getting on the live, and you just tell them, look, you got to get on. You got to get on Live with Vince Elliott because he's giving you valuable information that you would have to pay for. So that being said, wife of mine, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing pretty good today.
Yeah, and
I had a good week.
Yeah. So how was, what made it a good week?
I was productive. That's what it was. I was productive because sometimes the productivity is a struggle. The
Oh,
struggle is real with the productivity. That procrastination thing just be like hunting you down. So
you
I
know,
was really productive this week. So I got
I blame everything on my alter ego or that voice in my head, Lil V, that people have seen on the show. And I'm gonna tell you something. Procrastination has got to be one of the worst self-inflicted enemies that we have. I like what you said. You know what? You showed me something on Facebook. What did it say?
Oh yeah, it said procrastination is the arrogant audacity to believe that God has to give you another opportunity to do what you should have done the first time.
Woo, that's hot.
I was like, oh, out,
Wow.
damn. I was like, dang, you talked about me real bad. So,
Yeah, and you know
yeah,
what? And here's the thing: we really don't have the. I mean, more excuses have been moved out of the way now with this pandemic and quarantine than ever before, because kind of our dynamics have changed in terms of we're working from
yeah,
home. Some people aren't working at all, and so whether you collect unemployment or your money's coming in some other way, you've got more time to do, some of those things that you have put off before. So I mean, this pandemic has changed things. I'm sorry.
yeah,
It's changed things in so many ways, in positive way. Everything's not negative. We could do something, with this time. I know I've taken advantage of, just working on projects that, personal projects of mine in production. But of course, also, the pandemic and the quarantining, shutting down businesses has also affected us in, ways we're not traveling as
I'm
much.
mad. I'm mad at the Rona because the Rona has messed up my 50th birthday and my 50th birthday year. Because I had big plans. I'm turning 50 this year. I was planning to celebrate my
Look at her,
birthday.
y'all. She don't look
Yes.
like she turning 50, does she? That's my baby. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was looking forward I was going to celebrate my birthday every month this year. So I had all these things I was going to do once a month. Rona, she came and she just changed all of that. She was like, nope, you will stay at the house. And I'm like,
Now, you know what? I've never been one to celebrate every month, and I've heard people doing that. I mean, what exactly were you? I mean, how you gonna do something every month for a year? What kind of things you gonna do?
okay, so look, if you are always, most times it's a lot of moms and women have a tendency to, put everybody's needs and what they want to do first. And so we have a tendency to do what other people like to do or try to include other people in our fun. With this, I was going to take a month, a year, and say every month I'm going to do something that I want to do, regardless of whether anybody else wants to do it with me or not. You are invited, but it's not mandated, and you may not come and change my plan. I had something. I was going ballooning, which is something you have
Oh my
do with me for
goodness!
the past 22 years. But
Listen,
I'm not bitter.
let me just drop something in there real quick. Listen, people, I've seen enough stories on the internet, and I don't live in fear, but I'm just saying I'm not a swimmer, so why be in the ocean and in the water with because I can't swim? Why be on the boat? Why be in the air if I can't fly? See, if something goes wrong, I'm at the mercy of gravity, and gravity don't play that. So no, I'm not trying to do those things. Anyway, go ahead.
Going ballooning. I had so many things lined up that I was supposed to do. And she just came and set down all my plans. But the ultimate, what I was supposed to do was one of my best friends, she turns 50 the month before, on the 23rd of October. We planned to do a spa tour. We were going to hit several different cities in the States that have like excellent spas, and then we were going to go overseas. We want to go to two cities overseas and go to spas. By the time we came back after that period of time, we was going to be real relaxed. We was going to have so much girlfriend fun because spa treatment,
here's the thing,
and all of that good stuff.
I know that there are people out there, guys out there who do the spa treatment thing. And I'm not saying anything's wrong with that in terms of a male female thing, where it's like, you you're getting pampered and all that. You know, guys can take care of themselves and all that. You know, I'm not trying to put no shiny nail polish on or anything like that, but you know, getting treated to a spa treatment is cool. I just have a problem, and I've shared this with you. Now, my viewers, I want y'all to chime in on this. Here's why a brother cannot go and get a spa treatment. I'm torn. Listen, here's what you got to understand. As a heterosexual man, I just cannot have a man giving me a spa treatment, because in my mind, I'm visualizing this man with these big burly hands. He's rubbing on me and he's massaging, he's doing all these things, and he's going, you know, he's getting into it and doing all this. I cannot bring myself to say, oh, that feels good, bro. Yeah. All right. I will never utter those words. A man's rubbing on me and I'm saying that feels good. I'm a heterosexual man. I just can't have it. So now, if a woman is doing it, then I'm torn. Here I am going to the spa treatment. My wife's in the bed over there next to me. The woman's rubbing on me and everything. She's all doing her thing and she's making it feel good. And I'm going, oh yeah, girl, right there, right there. I mean, I can't. I just feel awkward. I would feel torn.
I was not coaching you. I was going with my girlfriends. We were going to go on a spa tour, and I would come back home.
Listen, I couldn't enjoy the spa because in my mind, I'm like, another woman's not supposed to be touching me, you know, doing all this, making me feel good like that. And I can't even relax and enjoy it.
I really appreciate that. I appreciate that. And we want to keep it just that way. I want you to go out and get those spa treatments. On the other hand, I was looking forward to getting my rub down and my seaweed wrap and my mineral baths and all of that. But, you know,
well, I tell you what.
So now we got to figure out something else to do for the 50th. So.
Well, let's move on to other things because nobody's getting no spa treatment tonight. So anyway, maybe somehow I'll figure out a way to, maybe they'll do robots to give you spa treatment or something and I'll feel comfortable. But in the meantime, I want to just shout out to our viewers to remind them, listen, share. If you haven't shared, you need to share this because we got my guest today. I'm going to tell you about it in a minute, but she is the business and she will get your business together. And she's got a proven track record and pretty well known for what she does. So you need to share this. No matter where you are in your business, if you have a business idea and you're trying to get it going, if you are, whatever phase you're in, you might have the business up and running, been running for a while, everybody can benefit from this conversation. So share. And if you haven't already, go to YouTube and subscribe. By the way, we're over 100 subscribers. Yeah, we're a new show, and that's a benchmark. We're over 100 subscribers. Now, we have many more people that view our show on Facebook, but on YouTube, we crossed 100 subscriber mark, so that's noteworthy. Real quick, what's up to Frank? He said, you got to go on a cruise, bro. His wife actually gives him pedicures and he's not ashamed. Well, if you've seen his feet, you should be ashamed. No, I'm just kidding. I haven't seen his feet, but that's Frank. I just had to give him a jab. But he said, ain't no man rubbing on him. We on the same page right there. Let's transition real quick. Normally we would have Erica giving us our in other news. And so we're going to continue with it, but only I'm going to do in other news with the assistance of my wife. And I'm going to fade the music out, and we're going to talk about something other than Trump, something other than Joe Biden, something other than COVID, and something other than civil unrest. There's other things going on in the news that you probably won't hear anywhere else but right here on Live with Vince Elliott. So I'm just going to get right into it right away. My first topic that I want to share with you all today in other news is Dr. Phil begs TikTok followers to stop, get this, to stop calling him daddy. Wait a minute. So if those of you, most of you probably know who Dr. Phil is, right? Dr. Phil has his own show. He's on there talking to crazy people who, like he had the girl on there and she just was about 105 pounds dripping wet. And she's on there talking about, meet me outside after the show. How about that? He talking to people who, he had somebody on there who swore up and down that her and Tyler Perry had a thing going. She never met Tyler Perry. I mean, he has some strange individuals on there, but he's a psychologist, he's a doctor, he's all of these things. And, so he has a following on TikTok, and people are calling him daddy, and he don't want them to do that. So he's saying, listen, stop calling me daddy. I'm sure your fathers are, offended by that, and I'm not your daddy. And so I looked at some of the comments. They was like, okay, Papa.
See, my question is, Dr. Phil, why are you on TikTok? That's my.
Right.
That's
Right.
what, I mean, you got this prestige, and I think is real talk. I got a TikTok issue. I'm one of those people that you are watching TikTok to the point that had little blurbs that come and say you need to get up and walk around and do.
Yeah,
I got a TikTok issue. I'm not gonna lie. However, and I know that there are some professional people on TikTok, but I'm like, okay, but Dr. Phil, really? Really? And if you don't want nobody calling, if they gonna call you daddy, the kids is you.
Well, I figure like this. They probably call him daddy because well, that too, but he's given sound advice, and people can go to him. They get wisdom from him. So
no, that's not why they call him.
I tried.
The Gen Z people have a problem with anybody being on TikTok besides them. They talk about all of us is on TikTok. If you are not Gen Z, millennial, Gen X,
or like Medea would say, millennials. These millennials.
They don't want them on there. They like the TikTok is for us. So if Dr. Phil is on there, they are talking about him bad. They call this, so they go call him daddy and papa and everything else. So
I never looked at Dr. Phil once and thought daddy. So no, I'm not one that calls him daddy. All right. So second story that we have today is very interesting. Ecuador couple spouses set Guinness record for world's oldest married couple. Let me tell you just a little bit about this real quick. I'll just read this little blurb. Julio and Waldramina Quinteros were married in 1941, almost 80 years ago. The pair are from Ecuador, and their wedding ceremony back then was a secret one, as neither of their families approved of the union. That's funny. Maybe they thought it wouldn't last, but last it did. It's literally in the record books. Guinness World Records just certified them as the oldest married couple on the planet. Julio's now 110 years old, and Waldramina is 104.
Wow.
Well, we got a long way to go. We just celebrated 22 years, and they got 80. So here's the part that gets me, is their families didn't approve, and if they've been married this long, many of the people who didn't approve have passed on, or their marriages didn't last as long as theirs, and they're still going strong.
Yeah. That's that. Wow. You don't hear that. You really don't hear that. Like, you got people that can't stay together 8 years. So they.
Oh my goodness. 80 years.
Wow.
I would love to interview them.
I know.
Oh my goodness. I want to know not only how, what some of their secrets are, but I want to know things like, do you all argue anymore? I can't imagine that they argue.
Because they can't hear each other no more. Somebody you can't hear. You can say, I can fuss all. If we was 80 years in, it'd be like, I can say what I want to, fuss all I want to. You'd be like, okay.
But I mean, I figure after that long, it's like, you already know what upsets me. You know what I don't like, and at that point, either I'm going to accept it and just move on. I mean, why am I still getting upset about something you've been doing 30, 40, 50, 60, 80 years?
After 50 years, if you still do it, it's like, okay, they just not going to stop.
It's like, whatever.
Whatever.
I'm just going to move on.
Wow.
That is amazing. 80 years.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see what we got in the comments here. Portia says, wow, that's beautiful. They proved them wrong. Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. And then Hazetta was commenting on what we were talking about earlier. She says, love someone, males especially, working on my feet, loving it. You got to have, listen, a special calling to be working on somebody else's feet.
Mm,
That is not the job for me.
that is not me.
Well, listen, I want to use as much of the time possible for our guest. And I'm going to tell you who she is. I'm going to tell you more about her. We're going to introduce her. We're going to get into all of that after a quick word right after this. Hey everybody, it's Vince Elliott saying thank you for your support. Real quick, I just want to come on and say a few things real quick. First of all, you guys are amazing because some of you are supporting the show by viewing us every single week. You're financially supporting, you're telling your family and friends, people are going to the YouTube page, subscribing, hitting the notifications bell. We are growing by leaps and bounds. We got a team now. We got Erica Mack, who keeps the show on track, my co-host. We got a producer, super duper producer, Deidre. She's in the background holding it down. And we are now at a place where we are opening the window of opportunity for sponsorship. That's right. If you know of someone who has a business, or if you yourself have a business whose product or service align with our brand, we want to hear from you. Send us an email at thevinceelliott@gmail.com and we will send you the information. We have packages as low as $100 a week. Can't beat that. Those prices are going to go up as our audience grows, so you want to get in where you fit in. Also, if you want to support the show, simply go to the Cash App now there on the screen, $ live with Vince Elliott. 1 L, 1 T in Elliott, so your money gets routed to the right place and gets used appropriately. In the meantime, we will continue to bring you information, education, inspiration, motivation, and yes, a few laughs. Look out for Lil V. He's always trying to get on the show. So in the meantime, let's get back to the show. Ladies and gentlemen, I am excited tonight to introduce my guest. Yeah, I had to get the right music for her because she she got a both of the worlds. She real professional. She knows her stuff. She has got a proven track record, but she got a little hood in her too. You know what I'm saying? A little, Let me go ahead and introduce my guest. Her name is Dr. Nicole Farmer. She has been widely recognized for her distinctive voice and insight on the journey of entrepreneurship. After becoming the first African-American woman to own a Tuffy Auto Service, that's right, a Tuffy Auto Service franchise in 2006, and running her own multi-million-dollar company, Dr. Nicole Farmer launched Lifeline Business Consulting. Her experience as a young single mom inspired her to provide a lifeline to minority and women entrepreneurs. She subsequently coached thousands of individuals to realize their dreams of entrepreneurship and help them receive millions, and I repeat, millions of dollars in funding. Ladies and gentlemen, come on. Dr. Nicole Farmer!
Hey.
Come on. Wait a minute, dance break, come on. Welcome to Live with Vince Elliott. Thank you for taking time out to join us on the show. I'm already anticipating that you got a wealth of information. How are you? I'm going to allow you to introduce yourself and say what you want to say to my viewers.
You already done did it, so that was good enough. I mean, shoot, I'm like, who wrote that? Who wrote that? I like that. I need to Google that whole script and put it somewhere on my website. That was good. No, I am so thankful for you, Vince. Thank you so much, Carla. I really appreciate this opportunity. Why? Because we get to really take people's dreams and bring them into reality. A lot of people right now, they wishing that they started a business. You want to know why they wish? Because they see all these other people getting that PPP money. And they're like, man, I knew I should have started my business, but I want you to know it's never too late. You have to start today. So I'm excited. We're about to get this party started.
Yeah. So I can tell you right now, I, for one, am definitely going to benefit from this interview today. I know, like I said in the beginning when I gave the teaser, it doesn't matter where you are in your business, you're going to be able to benefit from the information that you have for them today. So, like I said, whether you are thinking about starting a business, you just got the idea, you haven't even filed your first piece of paperwork, you can benefit. If you have and you're just in phase one, you can benefit. If you've been running your business for 5, 10, 20, 30 years, you, my friend, can benefit. So stay tuned. If you haven't shared already, share. If you're just joining us, go ahead and put something in the comments. Let us know where you're watching from. Make sure if you haven't done so, you subscribe to the YouTube channel, because we're going to have, we may have her come back on. I'm just saying you don't want to miss the type of information we're giving. So I'm going to jump right into it. I'm not going to waste any time at all. So let's start with some of the most fundamental things, and that is when it comes to people getting, I guess some of the biggest hurdles, is getting money or getting a business started. There's a lot of misinformation, misconceptions, myths, and just flat out wrong information. What have you seen? Well, you know what? Back up. Let's back up. Before you answer that question, answer this question. How long have you been helping people with their business?
I have just celebrated 10 years, I think, doing this, like helping entrepreneurs completely, but it's been quite a while now. Even when I had my auto repair shop, there would be people that would come in and ask me questions, and I was always just a wealth of knowledge and giving information away. See, a lot of times we want to hog information. We don't want to share what someone has already taught us. But the thing is, if we want to receive more, we have to give more.
Yeah. And one of the things I want to do, like I said, I want to go into the myths, misinformation, all of that. And then after we do that, I want to, I think a good place for you to tell your story is right after that. Because I think with these myths, what's going to come about is people are going to be saying, well, my situation is different. Well, I don't have the resources. Well, all of these myths, I'm going to let you debunk. And then when you tell your story, they going to listen, you will have no excuse. He's going to be, yeah. Okay. So go ahead and spew out a few that you've seen and heard over the years.
A lot of people come to me and they say, well, you know what, Dr. Nicole, I didn't go to school for this. And I let them know, me either. So we both in the same, we both in the same box. A lot of times you don't really realize that you're using your budget at home, you making certain that the bills are being paid. You know how much money coming in versus how much going out. Hey, I need a little bit more money coming in, or I need to cut some of these bills out. Guess what? That's the same very minor level of financials that you need in order to run a business. It's the same thing. A lot of people, again, they'll say, well, Dr. Nicole, I don't have the money, or my credit's bad. When I was able to purchase the assets of the auto repair shop, I had a 420 credit score. Now, Vince, you better not laugh at me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Wow.
You better not laugh at me. That wasn't a laughing part.
No, right.
I heard it.
You just assumed that I was going to laugh.
I felt it.
Okay.
but really, okay, your credit's not good. Now, okay, but guess what? There are places called CDFI, Community Development Financial Institutions, that are in every single urban city. I don't care where you're at. They're all over the United States. And quiet as it's kept, there are even organizations worldwide. So there's no reason, wherever that you are, regardless of where your incomes level is currently, does not dictate where you will go. There are people out there that are willing to help you. And so Google that, CDFI, connect with those in your local area, and they can help you through the process, even though you don't have good credit, even though you may not technically have collateral, because that's a whole nother thing. Well, I don't have a house. I don't have $100 billion in the bank. I don't have XYZ. Guess what? These organizations are there to help you through whatever hurdles that you have to get you to the path that you need to be.
All right. So I'm going to transition. I'm going to let Carla jump in and ask some questions, but I do want to guide the conversation to your story, because there's going to be those people that say, yeah, but I'm going to do it, but I can't do it right now because I'm in a catch-22. This job I have really ain't You know what I'm saying? It's not paying me what I need. It's taking up a lot of my time. Plus, I'm a single parent, or just my time is so consumed with my children and my job and all these things I got going on. I'm working at the church, and I just don't have the time. I'm gonna wait until a certain time. I'm gonna put some more time into the business.
That time is never going to come. See, when you get on a plane, what do they tell you? Especially when you're traveling with children, they come right into your face. I mean, they be like, psh, right there. And they say to you, put the oxygen mask on self first before you put it on your child, before you put it on the person that is next to you. Why? Because now, see, I had to ask a flight attendant. I said, well, why did they say that? And they said, because if something happened and all the air compression releases or whatever happens, you will black out within 3 seconds. 3 to 5 seconds, you'll black out. So if you don't put that oxygen mask, you out of here. It's the same thing in life. So as you're sitting here, you want to go ahead, work your 40 hours. I get it. I know you got to put food on the table today. I understand that. But do you have to sleep 12 hours of the day? Do you have to sleep? There's a lot of more time in the day. I know people who literally will wake up 2-3 hours before their family wakes up to get that work in on their business, or they go to sleep. I know early on with me, when my children were younger, I didn't go to sleep. I didn't go to sleep till 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. And quiet as a kept, I still do it. But I mean, like, you work it. How bad do you want it? That's my question. How bad do you want it? And then I asked the other question. You have to pick your heart. Going to work is hard. I don't know about y'all, but for me, I got fired from every job I ever had. I mean, that's just me. Why you keep laughing at me? I don't know.
I'm sorry.
That was family. Y'all is laughing.
I'm not laughing. No, I'm going to tell you why I'm laughing. I'm laughing because I already know the other side of the story. And it's like, all of these excuses about to be debunked. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I mean, but so I know how hard it is to get up, to get to work on time, right? To do XYZ, punch the clock. I felt like one of the cows in a line, just going up to the clock and, clocking in and, then back the same thing, right? So here you are, you are going through this hard. But then you're saying that this is hard, starting this business, writing a business plan, baking the sweet potato pies, going out on the corner and selling the sweet potato pies. You're saying that this is hard, but which one is harder? I don't know, working for somebody every week, every day, and giving me a percentage of the bigger pie in order to do their work. Now, hold on. Now, I believe that we need worker bees, just like queen bees. You have queen bees in the world, and you have worker bees. That's nature. The worker bees cannot do anything in life without their queen bee. But guess what? The queen bee can't live without their worker bees. We all need each other. So everybody may not be an entrepreneur. I don't want people to feel bad because they're like, well, that's not my desire. It's okay. Because you're pushing someone else's dream. You're supporting them. You're helping them get to that next level, and you're serving people. But, still, I got to pick my heart. So which heart do you want?
Well, tell us, tell us a little bit about your story, because, it is an amazing story. And your story actually debunks a lot of the myths that we see. So tell us about your story, because, you say you had a 420 credit score and fired from jobs, but there's even more than that. Tell us about your story.
Girl, it was a lot. But, I will say this, that one other thing that to me really hurts people is that they haven't healed from their past. And because of their mindset, as far as where they are currently, that's why they keep soaking in the excuses. They keep bringing it in, because that is a form of, hey, I have to hold on to my past because really that's all that I have. And I was there. I felt like, hey, you know what? How am I ever going to get past 8 Mile in Detroit? Right. will I ever, will I ever? Hey, it was a big thing to go to Great Lake Crossing for everybody who, lives in Michigan. That was big for me at a certain point in my life. It was a mindset shift to say, hey, because I was told, hey, you had a baby at 14 years old. I was a court ward at that time as well. So it wasn't like I had this baby, I was able to drop it off at my mama's house. No, I was in a group home and went from group home to group home to group home. I was literally in the system where they were even trying to take my son. I mean, 32 protective service cases against me to try to take him from me. That's a whole nother show. But still, because the social worker is telling me, oh, you're going to have, 8 more babies by 10 more men. This is how your life is always going to be. You're going to be on welfare, XYZ. I started to believe it. So while you're sitting there thinking about your story, thinking about where you've been, who have been speaking death on you, who have been speaking that to you, that you have even started to receive and believe, because I know I did. And so I couldn't see, being an entrepreneur, being a business owner. I thought people like that was crazy. I was like, that ain't for me. So even like, going through homelessness and being homeless at 17 and, and thanking God though, that still I had a homeless shelter to go to that, at that moment, or, having to sleep in my car with my son, or even just not having food for us to eat. And it was something my oldest son now, he was saying to me how he remembered that he didn't know that I wasn't eating. He just knew that he needed to share his food with me. And I was like, wow, like, so just that dynamic, like you just don't really get, probably where you have came from. But that's the reason why you have the tenacity, the oomph, the get up, the go to be able to get even more in your life. And so when the opportunity came to say, hey, guess what? You can own this. I had to tell the people, I said, just don't rub off.
All right, so let's for the people who don't know, let's delve into that just a little bit. All right, so you're pregnant at 13, baby at 14. You go to stay with your grandmother. Eventually, she's like, "Put your bags at the door." Like, child, no, I can't do this.
Actually, it was the opposite way. So my grandmother raised me.
Oh, okay.
And then she was like, I can't deal with you. You're a teenager. And then she was like, here's your bags, go. And then once I was gone, it was like, if she don't care, who will care?
Right.
And then I got pregnant.
Oh, okay. So no mom and dad in the picture.
My mother who passed last year, she was diagnosed with schizophrenia when she was 19 years old. So she had been institutionalized from the time that she gave birth to me. So my whole entire life, she was institutionalized, and I don't know who my father is. So not even having that dynamic of that mother or father at home, yet I have this grandmother who is constantly saying, I shouldn't have been having to raise you and all of that. I'm like, well, where would I have gone?
Right. So you're dealing with not only the physical challenges, but she's saying things that you shouldn't even be saying to a child. And that's bothering you mentally and emotionally. Okay, yeah. So you do the group homes, you do the shelters, and then let's transition into there's a point where there's got to be a point where now you have a place to stay. So what are you, 19, 20, 21 or something?
Well, I was able to get so it was so hilarious. My youngest son, he was like, Mama, did you have a fake ID? I said, yeah, I had to get a fake ID in order to get into a Section 8 house.
Oh, wow.
So I was 17 getting into a Section 8 house, showing them like I was 18, but I wasn't. That was so hilarious.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I was able to get an apartment, was able to work within my means, my little $318 check every 2 weeks.
Oh,
welfare, whoop, whoop. Yeah. But that's the problem, is that when you look at that generational poverty, issues that we have in society, we don't really see that for really what it is. I mean, I was born with the same case number that I continue to have until that was broken. The same case number, you know. And so if you think about that, how many other people not even thinking is in that same predicament? So yep, I got my apartment, you know, I end up getting married and getting divorced, you know, going
Another
through,
challenge. Another challenge.
right,
Mental,
because
emotional, physical. Wow.
being, you know, physically abused, mentally abused, you know, and just, you know, being torn up, you know, then yet getting back into another marriage, you know. So it's a lot, you know, it's a lot of dynamics there. But, you know, I look at how it all worked for my good.
Right. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So how
And
did
a
you
lot
go
of times,
from, I'm
no,
sorry.
go ahead.
So how did you go from, you know, the whole same case and this whole situation that you would come up in to even begin to do something like go to college? Because you're Dr. Nicole Farmer. So how do you even get to that point where, you know, you broke those systematic things that were going on with you to even getting to where, okay, I have the confidence to start going to college and taking on the business and all these kind of things?
So the confidence didn't come until way later in life. And and even in that, because of me having to tell this story over and over and over again, which has really, you know, helped other people, right? I was awarded 2 doctorate degrees, honorary
Wow.
doctorate degrees, because of what I've gone through and how it has helped others transform my community and really brought other people's lives, you know, from the pit until where they are now. So, you know, it really allowed that. That was even a confidence booster. It was it it made me feel as though that I was worth something, if that makes sense. And what was even more fantastic, let me just give you the real good scoop. My now husband, but then fiance, presented my first honorary doctorate as a engagement present.
Wow.
Wow.
Awesome.
That is amazing.
So you talking about, you know, how you start to heal
Mm-hmm.
through a lot of the situations that you've gone through, but people come into your life to do that.
Yeah.
So okay, you got a question you want to go ahead?
No, go ahead. Go right ahead.
Okay. So now let's fast forward to and I don't want to say the turning point because the turning point is
It's
subjective.
still turning. It's
Yeah,
still turning.
exactly.
Stage of our lives.
Let's
It's
talk about
turning.
let's talk about this. How you came about, you know, being the first African American woman ever to own, or the first one to own a Tuffy, what was it Tuffy Auto
Auto
Parts or
Service Center.
Auto
Yep.
Service Center? Talk about that.
So I was 26 years old, and I was married. That was the second, now ex-husband. Praise the Lord, saints. And but I was he was a mechanic, and he, again, that mindset thing where he felt as though that was all that he would ever be. Um, and we were going back and forth. You know, I was taking him to work. He worked at this auto repair shop. I would drop him off. I would take his mother, my mother-in-law, my son's grandmother, to her chemotherapy treatments, to work back home, and then I was still taking care of my sons, right? So all in a car that was her car. And I'm doing this every day, right? This was my everyday thing. I just had this baby. He was on my hip. And the owners came out one day to the car and they were like, you know, I think we want to sell you this business. And I was like, you crazy. Are you going to take my food stamp card? I just got a good $900 loaded on here. But again, that mentality, right? Because I didn't have anything, literally did not have anything. And they're like, no, you have what it takes. This is why you can be an entrepreneur. Look at how you're running your family, how you're caring for your family. Look at what you're doing. And they said, hey, figure it out. We're going to lower it. So they literally, I think they had it on the market for like 350,000. And they were like, we'll cut it in half. And then final number was like $78,000. And it was like, but still, where am I going to get $78,000 from? And so it was a process of me learning. My grandmother always said, if you can pick up a book, read it, you can learn anything. And that's what I did. I went to libraries. I went to all these quote unquote free places that actually told me I would never own this auto repair shop. I don't have what it takes. I went through all of that, but it was okay because I kept picking up literature. And one thing I found was where it said there are economically and socially disadvantaged places that will help you if you're socially economically disadvantaged. And I was like, I don't know who else would be more socially economically disadvantaged than me. And going through that process and talking to their broker through this process, which that was a whole kit and caboodle in itself, where she was just like, hey, look, they got money for you people. She kept saying, you people are always lazy. I don't understand why you guys, you get all of this, but now you got an opportunity. You want this. I mean, it was huge. But one thing I learned is that because I'm used to this type of abuse, right, that I saw her as love versus abuse. In a sense, that was the way that she was able to wake me up to hear her because of the way that she was able, the way that she was speaking to me, which anyone else, especially Eastside Detroit, she would have got hit in her mouth. But for me, it's like, look at how she looks. I mean, she had this like huge 5-carat diamond ring on her finger. I'm like, why is she even paying attention to me? And, she was like having me come to her office. I would wind up an hour and a half late. She would close the door, come back tomorrow on time, open the door. I'm dressed in jeans. She's like, that's not how you come to a meeting. Come back tomorrow.
Wow.
And
she trained you.
She trained me. Even in that, it was just like, okay, this is how you show up. This is how you respond. So then when I had to go to the bank to ask for money, who was on time? Who was dressed in a suit? Who was able to be articulate? Who was, so it was all meant for my good, even though it may not come out. It didn't come out of her mouth in the most positive way. And I think that that's another issue, especially folks like us, we have a problem with that. If it doesn't kiss us in the face and, sing a lullaby, we're not going for it. When a lot of times people are going to speak harsh to you, but that does not mean that your blessing isn't there.
That's good. Say that again. Say that again.
That's so true, because so many people will pass up something because it didn't come gift wrapped. It came kind of prickly, but they'll pass up on something that is for them because they didn't like the way it was presented. I'm like, take it, wash it off and go about your business.
Get out your feelings and get what is there for you. That is really, honestly, not to go left field, but that is how the devil trip us up a lot of times. He is making certain that he uses whatever roadblocks so that we won't go past, because it's meant for us to have it. And so, again, going through all of that, I was able to write this very juvenile business plan that I still have, 8 pages, beautiful thing. But even in that, it was a struggle. I went into one of these free places asking for help. The young lady was like, oh, you're very unprofessional. You brought your son in, And I said, well, where am I supposed to take him? He's 5 weeks, 6 weeks old. I should be at home. I'm trying to start a business. I'm trying to do something here. And she told me how unprofessional it was. And I told her my whole entire story. And Like, I don't have anybody to watch him. And also, I'm a breastfeeding mom. When I said that, she got up, opened her door, and told me to leave because that was the most nastiest thing
Oh
that
my
she had ever
goodness.
heard. And this was
Wow.
coming from a Black woman. So I was like,
What?
what?
Wow.
Wow.
Again, you got to keep going. Just because a door slams, just because somebody says no, just because whatever.
How many years ago was this?
You know what is funny? So my son is 14 years old. So this has been 14 years. And on top of that, in our local area, she's one of my competitors and she doesn't even know. She doesn't
Wow.
even know. So every time we're like in a gathering, I see her, she speaks and she's, oh, Nicole. Ah! And I'm like, oh,
She don't remember you.
Nope, she does not.
nope, not at
Wow.
all.
Wow.
And
And
there's
the
not too many Black women in our local area that do what we do either.
Right.
oh my
Wow.
goodness. But she knows your success. But she
Yes.
doesn't remember that you were the one who came in that day.
And slammed the door in my face.
And you're better than I would because I think, see, that's why God can't bless you when you go and you show stuff. Because I would have been like, oh, remember me? Yeah, I'm the one that was in your office. You put,
Remember?
I would have been all in my
And you put me
feelings.
out.
You put right. I've been.
You put me
I
out.
probably wouldn't have done this because
Nah.
that don't look too manly. But
I know it
I would-
don't look too bad. No.
I
But-
would.
in my head, that's what I would have been doing.
You would have did it. You would have did it.
I
You still would have.
know what, you know, sometimes.
All right, so listen, we got to jump further ahead now because
I know.
because here's what we all want to know. All right, so we qualified the fact that now nobody's watching is they're without excuse. All right,
No.
and we didn't
You
even
don't have an excuse.
don't have an excuse at all, and we didn't even go in. I mean, we just hit the bullet points of your story, which
Right.
was enough to debunk all excuses.
Yeah.
They can only imagine the day-to-day grind and struggle that you have to go through with all of those issues and challenges. And then you slipped abuse in there. I mean, oh my, that alone. Okay.
You just
Slipped that in. And so now you got the business doing well. We're just gonna fast forward. The business took a tank for different reasons. And somehow you got to going, come on, get me there. How'd you get to?
Nothing but God. So look, this was a good one. So because you go from $900 in food stamps, right? Beginning of the month, first month, end of that month, $50,000. You ain't
Wait a
never
minute.
even seen that kind of money in your life. So
Time
we
out.
was
You got
doing-
to tell me something on that. What do you mean you went from 900
that
to
was
50,000?
the auto repair shop business. Dude,
Oh.
the auto repair shop business.
By the way, where was that?
Ooh, on 8 Mile.
On 8 Mile? Somebody saying that
8
they thought they
Mile.
remembered that on Mansfield in Detroit off Jefferson. Not that one, though. You said 8 Mile.
No, not
Okay.
that mile. No,
Okay.
no. So yeah, so I mean like the auto repair shop business is a good business. It's just FYI. So you never had that kind of money, right? You never dealt with any of that. And so then now when you see it literally gone, what happens? See, nobody teaches us, especially Black folk, because I don't know about y'all, but my grandmama, she was something else. It was like Dr. Jekyll and Mrs. Hyde, depending on who it was when you opened that door. So I come home with a seed. Oh, I'm kneeling in the corner on some rice. I mean, like,
Ooh-wee.
we is not playing. Like, there's no failure is like going to hell. Like, it was like the worst thing ever. A F, a failing. And so we still have that mindset of failing is the worst thing ever. And so here I am, very successful in this business. And then now it tanks. And mind you, we were right in the middle of the failing of the economy and everything, right? But when you broke, you don't even think about a failing of the economy. The economy fails every day. What is you saying? So it didn't even register. So here you are sitting there and you're like, everything is about to be a wrap. And so for me, I felt like I was about to go back I'm going back into poverty. I'm going to go back into, this horrific situation. What am I going to do? And so, I
Yeah,
rushed
what
myself to
did you
the
do?
hospital. Oh, I rushed myself to the hospital one of them days and was like, "It's something wrong. I don't want to be here no more. I want to run the car into the wall."
Mm.
But then the kids can't get to work to school, and but something got to give. And the doctor there, she was like, "Baby, you just tired. Here, take this Tylenol and go home." And so I took this Tylenol, I sat in this room. She had me, lay down in the room for a minute, and she discharged me. And then I got a $3,000 bill later. And I was like, "Oh wow, I
Wow,
can't,
for a
I can't,
Tylenol?
I can't even catch crazy, right?
That
I
was one
can't even,
heck of a Tylenol.
right? I can't even like
For real.
about right, but it allowed me to see life happens, but it's growth in that. So when you think something is transitioning, right, you're thinking it's failing, but it's transitioning to your next level. And so then literally August 31st, close the doors to the auto repair shop. September 1st, open Lifeline, first customer.
Wow.
Like
Wow.
next day. And then now all of these funders are like, "Hey, let's have you start working with our people. Why don't we need to get people on the books. We need to get loans out. We need for somebody who have gone through what you've gone through to talk to other people to help them through this process. You've gone through the process, so
And they were sending you business.
sending me business."
Okay, so we got to get down to the nuts and bolts. I want to know I come to you day one. What
Day one.
happens? What do you do? How do I get in? How do you get, I know you can't make any guarantees. How do I get
No.
money? All that kind of stuff. We're going to talk about that. I'm going to take a little short break. And soon as I come back, it's going to be real quick. Soon as
Okay.
I come back, I want you just flowing, telling us
Okay.
everything we need to know. Let's
Okay.
get it. Hey everybody, it's Vince Elliott saying thank you for your support. Real quick, I just want to come on and say a few things real quick. First of all, you guys are amazing because some of you are supporting the show by viewing us every single week. You're financially supporting, you're telling your family and friends, people are going to the YouTube page, subscribing, hitting the notifications bell. We are growing by leaps and bounds. We got a team now. We got Erica Mack, who keeps the show on track, my co-host. We got a producer, super duper producer, Deidre. She's in the background holding it down. And we are now at a place where we are opening the window of opportunity for sponsorship. That's right. If you know of someone who has a business, or if you yourself have a business whose product or service align with our brand, we want to hear from you. Send us an email at thevinceelliott@gmail.com and we will send you the information. We have packages as low as $100 a week. Can't beat that. Those prices are going to go up as our audience grows, so you want to get in where you fit in. Also, if you want to support the show, simply go to the Cash App now there on the screen, $ live with Vince Elliott. 1 L, 1 T in Elliott, so your money gets routed to the right place and gets used appropriately. In the meantime, we will continue to bring you information, education, inspiration, motivation, and yes, a few laughs. Look out for Lil V. He's always trying to get on the show. So in the meantime, let's get back to the show. Ladies and gentlemen, you are on the right Facebook page, YouTube page, whatever it is. You are live with Vince Elliott. I am Vince Elliott. And right over there, that beautiful lady right there is my wife, Carla P. Yarbrough. And we are with our guest. She's right down there. Dr. Nicole Farmer is here today. She has already shared just a snippet into her story, the highlights or lowlights of her story. Now we're going to get to the highlights because we're going to talk about how you can be changed, how your business can be changed based on the information that she has for us. She has already debunked all the myths. You are without excuse. She has been through it all. I mean, she is transparent about her story. She was a 14-year-old mother. She was abused physically. She was in the streets. She was homeless. She was without food. I mean, come on, man. I mean, the story is about as bleak as it gets. So she has turned all that around, and she is now helping other people to become entrepreneurs. And so whether you have an idea and haven't started, or whether you've been in business for 10, 15, 20, 30 years, she has information that can help you. So If you haven't done so already, you can still share. If you haven't done so already, you can still subscribe. Just go to YouTube and search for The Vince Elliott, 1L, 1T, and Elliott, and subscribe, and then hit the notifications bell so you can get updated when we go live and when we upload new content. So without further ado, Dr. Nicole, I'm putting the mic back on you, and me and Carla are going to just bombard you with questions because I want to know what you going to do for me, because I need your help.
I love it. It was something when you said that 14-year-old girl having a baby. You know what's hilarious is when you take your baby to the same pediatrician that you go to.
Ooh.
Too young, right? You too young. When you both have the same pediatrician, just FYI.
Oh, that's deep. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Man.
That'd be interesting.
All right, kick it. Okay, so I'm gonna paint a picture.
Okay.
Now, like I said, people at different levels, but I come to you and I'm like, Nicole, listen, I got an expertise. I'm good at something. I want to turn it into a business, or I have it as a business. But the thing is I can't open up my studio. I can't open up my shop. I can't seem to figure out how to get the funding, or I can't figure out how to market or get the marketing dollars. Where do I start? I come to you, I knock on your door, I email you, I call you, kick it.
The first place that we're going to start at is really laying all of the pieces out. And first, making certain that, is this a passion, or are you just doing something just to make a quick dollar? Because a lot of people, they say, oh, I'm passionate, or oh, I wanted to do this, but it's because they see Mark or Emily over there doing the same thing. And so they see them being successful. And so they just ride on that person's coattails. Hey, that's a lot of people out here. You could really make some good money in the daycare business. But for me, I don't like kids. So I'm not going to start no daycare center just because it's a multi-million-dollar business.
Don't let your sons hear that. Go ahead, though.
I'll give you $250 a month. I pay But for real though, are you passionate? Are you really, wanting and desiring to do this? So that's where I first start. And then now from that point, we really start to look at the money. Because if it don't make money, it don't make sense. We don't need to be doing it. Is it a hobby? Like for me, I make a mean sweet potato pie. I gotta make y'all one. So when I'm back in the store, I'm gonna make y'all sweet potato pie. Y'all gonna be like, "Oh, Nicole, this is good," but it's just a hobby. Now, because I'm a business, this is my mindset. Yes, I can figure out how to make money at it, but am I passionate? Do I really want to do it, or is it just a hobby? And then would it make enough money to do what I need for it to do? So let's compare that. Maybe your bills are, $2,500 a month, right? Can your business produce $3,000 a month? Let's look at that, because, hey, if you're able to cover some bills, have a few dollars in your pocket, you on your way. Then go ahead.
So it's really looking at, so that when you're starting out, so making sure that you're not following the trend, following a fad. First things first, because people will bombard you with all these things, but it's like trendy. And it's like, not everybody's, everybody want to be famous, but not everybody's purpose to be famous. And they don't get that. And then also, making sure that that it's going to sustain their life, because sometimes people have these dreams of things that are not going to sustain their life. And like you said, if it doesn't make money, it doesn't make sense. So you might have this passion to do it, but you just volunteer and you got to get another job someplace else to cover your bills.
So that don't make no sense.
Right.
So, and then from that point, we start to look at the legality of things. Hey, do you have your LLC? A lot of people say, hey, I just went down to the county building. I just did a DBA and that's good enough. Now, look, I'm not a lawyer. Put my little disclaimer in there, but let me tell you something though. Having an LLC allows you to separate. It's like having a child. And that child has its own social security number, right? So it can mess up its own credit. Mess up my credit. You on your own. It's the same thing in business though, seriously, right? That entity is separate from you. So if somebody, let's just say, Carla and Vince, you got a house, right? And that house is a beautiful house and you rent it out to me and I slip and fall on your carpet. Now I want to sue you, but you just did it as a DBA or you just kind of doing it under the table. I'm suing you. I'm
Mm-hmm.
suing you for it's not even gonna be the Vince Elliott show. It's gonna be live with Dr. Nicole show, right?
You take everything I got. You gonna
right?
take the cat and the dog.
Everything, okay? Like, you see the little bases behind you, Carl? I'm taking that. That's the thing. You know, how do you protect yourself? You know, now, mind you, though, the IRS, they gonna get them vases, they gonna get everything if you get in trouble with them. You don't want to get in the bed with the IRS, okay? Just FYI. But outside of them, you have some separation. You know, you become just me, my little old self. And then now I have these companies that are now legal entities. They're legal beings that are able to go out into the world and do what we want them to do. So we'll make certain that it has a LLC or an S corp, and it's a difference, yes, depending on how much money you make, because you don't want to get into taxation, double taxation, and all of that. But then also getting an EIN number, IRS.gov. Let's say it all together.
IRS.gov.
It's free. You can go right there on their homepage. They have it. Apply for your EIN number. It's free. Please don't pay nobody to file that paperwork for you. Okay. Most states, your LLC document only costs between $50 and $150. So altogether, just in the legal piece of it, you will only come out with maybe $150. So come on, you can do this. You can do this yourself. We have Google. There's plenty of YouTube videos that will walk you through documents and paperwork. There is no reason to pay someone to do those documents for you. And then guess what? Go right there on GoDaddy or whatever domain platform that you like to go to and purchase your domain just right away. Okay, whatever name that you decide, go ahead and snatch that thing up. Because you don't want somebody else to snatch it up, because then you're gonna be mad, and then you're gonna be like, Dr. Nicole, can you help me? No, I can't help you with that because you should have been.
Okay, so I got the basics out the way, right? I got my EIN number, I got my DBA, I got my LLC, I got my my website. My website domain number. I got those basics out the way. But if I can do those things on my own, like you said, don't pay nobody to do that. I want to come to the good doctor to increase my chances of success. I want my funding. How do I get paid? How do I get the money to build this thing out?
How you get that money is writing that thing. See, don't be mad because I'm about to cuss at you, okay?
Oh, here it comes. You about to say what? You about to say that B word? You know I don't. Oh, don't say it. Oh, don't say it.
How about the business plan?
Oh,
I know. I understand.
You had to say it.
Why you play? I write business plans for a living, and sometimes I can't stand them myself. So I get it.
Oh, I hate the business plan.
You're not by yourself, but guess what? It is a roadmap to your success. You have to write the vision. You have to make it plain. How else are you going to run with it? Mm-hmm. You have to write this thing. And so we will go step by step through this entire document. It shouldn't really be no longer than 20, 25 pages. Sometimes it gets a little bit more lengthy when you add on financials and all of that. But again, you have to make certain that you're able to draw a picture. What was the last book that you both read?
Green Eggs and Ham. I'm sorry.
That Green Eggs and Ham book was the bomb.
Yeah, Green Eggs and Ham, dog. Yeah. No, but so.
When you're picking up a book, you read the cover, right? You read the back of it. You kind of read maybe a few pages before you buy it. Mm-hmm. Right. You're not going to just pick up the book and just go ahead and check out, or you're not just putting it in your Amazon cart and saying buy now. You're reading a little bit. You're seeing You're getting a recommendation from someone. It's no different with funders. They're going to read the executive summary. They're going to flip back to those numbers to make certain that it makes sense. And then if it captivates them, right? If they pulls them in where they're intrigued, then now they go ahead and read the entire business plan. But if they read the executive summary, it's not even pulling them in because you sitting there talking about you gonna make masks, not dogging everybody who's making masks right now, okay? Because I just follow the mask making business. Lord Jesus, everybody and mama making masks.
Right.
Is that a business that a funder would want to fund?
If you go on Shark Tank.
Right.
Exactly. So now I want to be clear on what exactly you help people do that they may not, maybe they can, but maybe they don't want to do on their own. You walk them, you actually hold their hand and walk them through the business plan. Is there anything else that you help them do? Or you provide resources? What else do you do with it?
So through that, I help with resources. I bring people to the table to help you with different issues that you may have. So if you are currently in business and we start to look at your numbers and you pulling out all these receipts out of your, out of some bags, some, Farmer Jack bags, because that's how long ago you had these receipts, is when Farmer Jack was still in business. I'm going to have to call you an accountant. We're going to have to get these numbers together, but then still I'm walking you through it. I'm helping you and I'm bringing it to a level that you're going to understand. I understand sometimes people talk over us. I can't stand those people who talk over you. It's like, we can bring it to a simple, business is not like something huge, major, and something difficult. It's very simple. And if you notice, most successful entrepreneurs, they did not graduate from college, but they hired all college graduates. Think about who you hire to get your vision to that next level, but they have the idea and they know how to, to cast it out. And so I help you through that. I walk you through every step, and then I walk you into funders, relationships I've already built. I help you form your pitch, being able to feel confident speaking, talking, allowing other people to understand your passion, and letting that come across. So I help people through that entire scenario. And then after you get money, then I'm there. I'm going through numbers with you. We're creating budgets. I'm helping you with, HR issues, and I'm helping you even when you're on top of the roof, ready to jump. I'm right there.
So let me play the opposite end. I don't like to be an advocate for the devil. I'm just going to play opposite end. I'll call it that. So there's this person out there that's probably saying, yeah, well, I'm a little more advanced in there, but what's your track record? I mean, maybe they didn't see the promo that I did. I mean, how many people has she helped get funded? I mean, has what's she helping people get $10,000? Or I mean, what can she really do? Tell them what you did.
We have graduated, over 10,000 entrepreneurs through our program, teaching them just the basics of entrepreneurship, and then taking them through how to write a business plan, and just getting them out there.
I'm gonna have to stop you.
Why?
I'm gonna have to stop you.
What happened?
Because I just felt it down in my shana now. Somebody didn't believe you. What had happened was you said you started doing this, 10 years ago? And if somebody was listening, they said 10 years, she done helped about 10,000 people. That's 1,000 people a year. I don't even believe that.
Them a lot of people.
That's a lot of people. You helped 10,000 people.
It was classes.
And then tell them how much money collectively you've helped people get. Wait a minute, let me put you full screen to say that. Go ahead.
I get a full screen. Praise the Lord, saints. Over $5 million.
Woo!
And that's the loan piece. Then we're talking about almost a couple of million in grants, because there's a lot of different other programs that when you get a loan, you're able to get some grant dollars, and or you're able to get some of the funders will even pay for the accountant, will pay for the PR work, will pay for your branding material, will pay for the website. So all of that, we kind of help to massage.
Here's the thing. Go ahead, Carla.
Okay, so I have a question. So, everybody now, we're talking primarily about brick and mortar businesses and things like that. But I know you see the trend right now. Everybody and their mama want to be a consultant, and everybody got everybody got this course that they want you to take online. They want you to pay $5,000 to take their course.
Girl, yes.
How does that translate to the person that's trying to be a actual legitimate consultant? To get those fundings and things like that, because a lot of times people feel that want to be consultants feel as if they can't get funding to start their business because it's not like this brick and mortar, all this equipment and things that they need. How does that translate?
So I want you to look at it differently. So there's a book that I recommend people just in all sorts of situations to read when you feel as though that you are in like how you're in a river and you got 50 million people in the same river and y'all all trying to swim up the same stream to try to get the same client. You're like, where do these people come from? It's like the consultants, the trainers, and the people selling the tea and the waist trainers.
Yes. Yes.
Like all of us, Jesus, right? We're all right here. But you know what? It's this book called Blue Ocean. And their mentality is for you to pivot in your business and create a blue ocean effect where now you take yourself out of the river and you put yourself in the ocean where nobody else is there. And so I would love to kind of push that consultant, because when you start to see other people doing what you're doing, it's because now it's time for you to do your next thing. But there was something in the bottom right there in that pit that you were supposed to do, but you've been a little nervous to do. And so now it's time to pivot and go ahead and get into the ocean and get away from those other people. And so once you start to do that, you start to bring on like your books, you start to have training material, which then becomes intellectual property. You're able to then now create different packages for a different type of customer. Then you start to get POs. Those things then now turn into collateral, which then can speak volumes when you're trying to get funding. So it's just about getting out of that river with all them folks with the waist trainers too.
So if you just join us, shame on you. You need to go back to YouTube and subscribe first of all, and then watch this show from the beginning, because what you've missed in the beginning is all the excuses. They're no more, because when you hear a little bit about her story, you know there's no excuses. And then we're talking to Dr. Nicole Farmer, who helps people to get their businesses up and running. If it's up and running, she helps you to improve it. If you need funding, she helps you to get funding. She has the resources, the relationships, the connections to walk you in to people who are providing funding for your exact situation. But before she walks you in, she gets you prepared. What do you need? Is your structure right? Is this the right business for you? Is this a proven model? Can you prove the model? Is she helps you with the business plan. She helps you with how to present your pitch. You can't just walk in just because you got a great idea, but you don't know how to present it. Your food could be great, but if you put it on a garbage can top, and then people don't even want to touch it. So she helps you get prepared. And like she said, just to kind of give you some validity to what she's saying, she said, listen, there's certain things you don't need to pay nobody to do. You can go on the IRS website and get your EIN number. You can go to the LARA site and get your, and do these things. You go to SAM site and do these other things, some of the things that you all may already know about. But where you really can use her expertise is for the things that I just mentioned, and to be able to have somebody who's going to walk you through it, hold your hand as you go through. Now, she's not going to do the work for you unless you're giving her a percentage of the business. Am I right? Talk to me now. Because listen, and then she has a proven track record. She's helped over 10,000 business owners to be able to get their business to the next level, and she's helped them get funding over $5 million, some in loans, some in grants. So the track record speaks for itself. This is a person, the title for this show is From Welfare to Wealthy. Now, right now, you're sitting in your home in the Atlanta area. Am I right?
Yes.
And you already said earlier you're gonna come check us out when you come back to your home in Michigan. Am I right?
Yes.
So she is not just selling no hype. She went from homeless to which home do I want to be in this week? So she is she popping a collar a little bit, as we used to say. I'm showing my age now because they ain't even doing that no more.
It's okay, though. We love you anyway. We love you in Jesus' name.
That's right. So now I want to stay on this train for the last 5 or 6 minutes that we got left, and I want to make sure that people are clear how you can help them. We don't have to revisit because I just revisited everything. If there's something else I left out, I want you to touch on that. But I also want to let people know that you have a special offer for my viewers. Talk about that.
Just for your viewers, whenever that you have clicked on this show and you're watching it, I don't care when it is, I want you to know I want to make certain that you have a winning business plan template. I know there's plenty of templates out there in the world, but my template is proven to get funding. And so because you're looking at this show, you're able to get this template for $40. That's two 20s.
How much does it normally cost?
Oh, I don't even sell it.
It's part of the
it's part of the entire package. You have to coach with me, you have to connect with me, you have to go through class. So
which
it's not even for sale.
Yeah.
Right. It's not even, but I wanted to give it to your viewers because I know how important it is. And I know some people are like, you know what, let me just go ahead if I got this template and I have literally explained every single section, what you need to write in there. And I'm only offering it right here on this show. It's only for you, Vince. It's only for you, Carla.
Oh my goodness. I feel special. Did you listen? Well, listen, folks, we've only been on the air for a few months, and this is the first special offer ever on Live with Vince Elliott. That's right. You get a perk for watching this show. I'm going to put that up back on the screen here momentarily, but you get a major discount. This template, listen, you got to understand the value of this thing because people are going to be wanting to know how they can work with you and all that type of thing. And obviously, if you're getting the full package, you're getting the walkthrough on the business plan and all these other things, the resources and the program, then there's a cost associated with that because you're giving them one-on-one assistance. But if they want to do a little a la carte deal and say, well, listen, all I need is that funding piece, you now are able to get that just by watching Live with Vince Elliott. So I'm going to put that up here in a moment. But you want to make sure that you're texting the words Live with Vince Elliott. Let me see. Should they put anything else with that? No. When you see Live with Vince Elliott, you're going to automatically know to send them the template, right?
I already know. I will already know, hey, I'm going to text them back and say, hey, and this is my cell phone. I just want you to know, like, I'm not just giving you like some old random number. Like, this is my phone. So you actually are getting my phone number as well. So I want you to know, hey, because you know why though? Because people need help. I mean, they're needing this help. They're desiring some help, and because that's another one of those self-sabotage thoughts where they say, hey, don't nobody help me. Don't nobody ever take care of me. Don't nobody ever do nothing for me. Well, guess what? You just got it. And on top of that, they could get 1 hour with me for $50.
Listen, let me help people understand something. If you didn't see the
promo, I had to get up real close.
Okay. Yeah. Well, let me go ahead. Do it again. Boom. Huh? What?
Right.
Listen,
all of that knowledge for an hour, all of that experience for $50 for $50.
If you missed the promo for this
Carla,
show,
that's like
cannot buy that.
If you missed the promo for this show, she's been on countless news programs. People don't put you on news programs if you're not doing anything. You don't have a proven track record. If you saw the promo, I just played a few. She was on Channel 7. She was on Channel 20. She was on Black Enterprises or something like that. She's been on several shows being interviewed. She was on Steve Harvey. And now, see, and this shows you the hierarchy. See, she goes from news stations to Steve Harvey, and now she's graduated to the Vince Elliott Show. Hey, live with Vince Elliott, baby. Come on now. Come on now.
Good.
Feel it. Come on.
Woo!
Yeah. So,
Yes,
so yeah, I want to make sure that people understand that they get 1 hour for $50,
Yes.
and that's your hour to make the most of it and get all the information, to get the guidance, and then determine, whether or not you need to get the full program or how you need to move on from there.
Yes.
So I want to.
And just FYI, that 1 hour is typically $250.
Yeah, and you know what? I can tell you
$50.
from personal experience, having paid a consultant before, that $50 is off the chain. That's a gift.
Yeah.
That's a gift.
That's such a gift.
Yeah, and you see at the bottom of the screen, for a special offer, text live with Vince Elliott to that number, 313, for the viewing impaired, 313-629-7983. 313-629-7983. I'll say it one more time. 313-629-7983. So you should have been able to write that down. Take a screenshot if you have to with your phone and get that. Type in the text live with Vince Elliott, and you're going to get the $50 for 1 hour, and you're also going to get the template for $40. So let's go to a couple comments real quick, guys. You just got a few minutes to put your comments and your questions in, and we're going to let her respond. So let's see what we got here. Wendell says, I love your speak what you believe. Amen.
Amen. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Yes, Brother Wendell. Yes, Brother Wendell. Yes.
I think he meant to say, I love you. Speak what you believe. Amen. He's a believer. He's a brother that I play ball with when we're not in the pandemic. And, so yeah, he definitely can identify with that. He also says, thank you, Vince and Carla. Special thank you to Dr. Nicole S. Farmer. I got some really great viewers, people who come on and appreciate the information. This show is about information, education, inspiration, motivation, and we throw in some laughs because I can't help myself. But also, my sister says she knows you from back in the day. Her name is Portia, and she said when she lived on Phillip, you lived a couple blocks from her or something, and you all used to work together. Yeah, I don't want to put all your business out there, but then again, what can you possibly say after you done told us, your other business? So maybe she'll put a comment in there and let.
Girl, hey, girl. You know what's what I love? I mean, for real, I have not connected with anybody back in the day. I didn't really, connect with people at school and stuff like that. So I would, hey, Portia, girl, hey, girl.
And you know what? Here's what's crazy. She's in Atlanta right now.
No
she lives in Atlanta. Yeah.
Oh, that's so hilarious.
And she just started a business, and she could probably use your assistance.
Oh, wow. We got to get together, have coffee, girl.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
That's a segue to a good question. Is this just for people that reside in Michigan and Atlanta, or do you do it around them?
All over, anywhere and everywhere. I mean, I've had clients from Florida, Virginia, California. So they're everywhere, Ohio. And
yeah, if you got 10,000, they can't be just, nestled in one little,
Yeah. No,
area.
They're everywhere. And then on top of that, what I love is that, again, like I said, there's funding everywhere. And look, if you are currently in business and have had your business at least since December, there has been so many grants out here. Mm-hmm. Look, you need to take advantage of them. I don't care if you feel like you're too tired. Look, I can't fill out another grant. I have one client, she has received $80,000 in just grants because of this pandemic, because she keeps filling out these things. And just giving you a tidbit, keep saving the applications and your answers and put them in a Word document, save it on your computer. So then the
Wow.
next one, you just cut, copy, and paste. After that, it just becomes a cut, copy, and paste. And then if it's a different question, you cut, copy, and paste that, put it on your main sheet in your Word document. And then now you're able to keep transferring all of that information. You don't have to make something up new every time that you open up
That's
and fill
good.
out these grants. No, just save the original the original grant questions and the answers that you gave, and just use that as your template. Cut, copy, and paste. And quiet as it's kept, if you had wrote your business plan, just FYI, you would have had a lot of those answers in your business plan as well.
Ouch. Ouch. And you ain't got to step on me like that, man. Come on
I'm
now.
just
I know
saying.
I wear
I just saying.
13s, but you ain't got
I
to, you know
just
what I'm
saying.
saying? Now, listen, I want to
Just
touch
saying.
on something really quick before we go, because we're going to
Okay.
wrap this up here. But one of the things that we touched on, but I think we need to add an exclamation mark to, is the poverty mentality. Now, you may not want to be a person who admits that you have a poverty mentality, so we can put a different name on it. But speak to the fact that people need to get out of their own way. You can do something different than what you've done over the last year, 5, 10, 20 years, and you can actually realize your dream. Talk to me.
You call your alter ego Lil Vince,
Lil
Lil
V.
V, Lil V. Well, we all got a Lil V somewhere, and sometimes our Lil V's, like my Nikki, she's not cute, she's not funny. She sits there and she tells me all day long, yeah, you know that ain't right. You know that's not going to happen for you. You know that you can't do that. Why do you think you're going to open up a tech company? Because that's what I'm doing right now. So I
Wow.
hear it right now. Like, why you think you about to do that? What do you think you're doing? Yes, we all have that voice, but I want you to know, where does that belief come from? Is that belief because somebody says something to you? Is that belief because, you correlate X plus Y to be Z? You have to dig down deep. And for me, I understand some of that is right there on Finkel. Some of that is, going through some of the stuff that I've gone through, is why my mindset is having to constantly be pushed to another level. I feel as though that poverty is an illness. It's a mental illness, because it's not just, oh, I don't have no money in my pocket. You see people who become millionaires and they blow it all. You see people who constantly will buy because they never had. We've gone through this pandemic, right? People getting this unemployment check right now. And it's sad. Like when my husband and I, our jeweler, he said, oh yeah, all these people bought the Rolexes, but they'll be back and I'll get all my inventory back. So he
Wow.
already is banking on the fact that you are giving him the money first for the Rolex, and then you're going to come back and give him the Rolex.
Wow.
So he's going to make even more money, and he's banking on that. He even understands the poverty mindset and how it's going to benefit his business. So
Now,
you have to start to look at that.
I want to add some clarity to what I think you meant. You said that thinking is right back there on Finkel. We're not shaming people who live on Finkel or even an area. What I think you're talking about is the fact that you can't let your past, or where you used to be, or where your past experiences, no matter where you live, dictate your future. Am I on page?
True.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you kind of cleaned that up in one sense, but I kind of want to almost dirty it back up. Because I had somebody even say that to me. I also lived in Highland Park, and somebody said something similar, and they were like, well, I live in Highland Park. I said, but did you live in a Section 8 house in Highland Park with roaches that was filled up in the corner? So you might be on Finkel, but are you on Finkel where you're living in a semi-abandoned home on Finkel? So it's still, where are you at? So yeah, okay, you might be on Finkel. Fantastic. You own your home. Maybe you own 20 homes. You already know I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to that one that is sitting there at the bus stop, that knows that they only have that bus fare to get them to point A, and they don't have the bus fare to get them back. That's who I'm talking about. I'm talking to that one that, just like me, I had that baby up underneath my coat in the wintertime, trying to get somewhere and crying where even there couldn't even be any more tears because you're just so tired of being tired. That's the Finkel I'm talking about.
Well, if you want change, you got to take the first step. People need to reach out to you if, in fact, they want to get some help with their business. There's so many people doing entrepreneurial endeavors these days. So at the very least, shoot her an email. Find out, what it might not be, what you think. It might be some, different creative ways that she can help you. So you definitely want to reach out, email her, and also don't forget to get the special. We got that going on for you, a $40 template on how to get funding. And then she will give you 1 hour of her time for just $50. If you've ever had a consultant, you already know that's a steal. That's a giveaway, but you only get it from the Vince Elliott Show.
That's it.
You got to text Live with Vince Elliott. So don't be calling her up talking about, I heard you doing it for $50 and you ain't text Live with Vince Elliott.
I don't be like, I don't know who you are.
I don't know nothing about you. You got the name drop, homie. You got the name drop. Yeah.
Who you you know?
Who you with? As my man would say. Who you with? So I think we've got so much information that we probably could have continued on with, but hey, you got to pay for the rest. I mean, hey, right here on Live with Vince Elliott, we're going to give you a lot of information, and that's a great segue to say, listen, you need to be contributing to the success of this show because we're helping people. We're blessing people. We are helping people, giving them information, education, inspiration, motivation, and we even give you some entertainment to make you laugh every now and then. So I want to just take a moment to thank you, Dr. Nicole, for coming out and taking well, you didn't come out, but you know what I'm saying, for taking out of your time to to bless us with that information. And, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm ready to get started. I'm not even playing with you. No. Let me just do a few things right quick because I think you just probably just kind of saying that for the show. So I'm just gonna take everything down right now and I'm gonna stop the music. I'm gonna stop the music. I'm just gonna go full screen. You seeing me? Are you seeing me?
I see you.
Dr. Nicole, do you have any availability to start me this coming week?
Yes.
You see how serious I am? I'm all up in the.
It.
Yeah, I'm serious. Yeah. And where's my wife? Let me put my wife back up there. Am I serious?
He's very serious.
I have Tuesday at 1:00.
Okay. Yeah. See y'all see how it's done? It's just that simple. Tuesday at 1:00. Lock me in. When we get off, I'm gonna talk to you backstage. We're gonna get started. I'm ready.
I'm putting you in.
I'm so serious. We about to build a studio.
I love it.
Now watch this. Watch this, y'all. Watch this, y'all. I'm about to put her on Front Street. I'm gonna need about a $500,000. Can you help me?
I probably can. We're gonna get that together.
See what I'm saying?
I bet you don't even need $500,000.
Well, we need a studio and we need some equipment. We're gonna talk off air.
We're gonna talk about it.
We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna get it done. We're gonna make it happen. If you don't get in where you fit in, it's on you. I'm about to put the email back up again. You need to email Dr. Nicole at Dr. Nicole at Dr. Nicole S. Farmer, don't forget the S.com.
Gotta put that S in there.
Put that S in there. This lady's been all over. She helping people all over the country. She helping people all over the world. She done kicked it with Steve Harvey and all of these newscasters and everybody else that she done interviewed with. But now she done came to the right place and got interviewed by Vince Elliott, the Vince Elliott on Live with Vince Elliott. Join us next Friday, same time. You need to log on at 7:55. And if you haven't subscribed, shame on you. Go to YouTube and go to The Vince Elliott in the search. Look for a guy that look like me. Yeah. And then subscribe, hit the notifications bell so you get notified when we go live and when we upload new content. Thank you again, Dr. Nicole. I want you to hang out for a second. Go backstage. Yes. Carla, my lovely wife, and I will close the show out and we will talk to you shortly. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on Live with Vince Elliott. Thank you to my lovely wife, there she is right there, for assisting me today. Listen, look y'all. I get to look at that face every day, every day. Anyway, all right, I digress. So we are going to end this show tonight. Join us next Friday. Don't forget that after next Friday, we move to Tuesdays. Tuesdays, same time, 7:55, 8 o'clock, the show starts. And we are going to be Tuesdays from that point on, which is September 29th. I have coming up, I'm not going to tell you. I'm just going to wait. You all join us next Friday. You'll see what's going on. I'm going to put the promo out a little bit before Friday. And then that's about it. Yeah. How'd you enjoy co-hosting?
I had fun. It was really fun.
From a different perspective. Erica Mack will be out again on Friday. But we got a special type of show Friday, so you don't want to miss that. I'm not going to tell you what it is just yet. I'm going to surprise you. And then on Tuesday, the 29th, Erica will be back. Want to thank my super duper producer, Deidre. She's always making things happen, whether during the show, before the show, and the production meetings. She is a staple in this success of this show. So I want to thank her as well. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got. I want to remind you guys to not only subscribe, but I want to remind you that we do take contributions. We do need your help. We need people to contribute through Cash App. Listen, I'm going to say this and I'm going to be done. There is no amount that's too small. Take it for granted there is no amount that's too big. But if you're watching and you're benefiting from these shows, I don't want to guilt you into anything. You do what you can do, but you can support us just by sharing. But we really also need you to send that $5 through the Cash App. We need you to send that $10, that $20, $50. Thank you to those who have done that. There are some people who have done that. You have sent the money through Cash App. You have supported the GoFundMe when we had that going. But the Cash App is there on the screen. $ live with Vince Elliott. 1L, 1T and Elliott. Take a snapshot of that if you want to, whether you do it today or whether you do it, when your check comes in, whatever. We need your support. I won't go into a long deal about explaining what we use that money for. Just trust that it's used with integrity to keep this show going. So that being said, Cash App tonight. I'm looking for 10 of y'all to Cash App tonight. Whatever you can do will be greatly appreciated. That's all I have, and we will see you next time. I just want to make sure I didn't miss any comments. And thank you, Tiana Henry. She said, God will make a way. Yep, and the way he gonna make for what I'm talking about is for some of y'all to Cash App. Cash App, baby, Cash App. So we're gonna end it with something on the screen that will also give you that Cash App information. We'll see you next time.